Welcome to the Beyond Show, the place where history comes to life. Again, I'm your host, Tom Echo, and today's guest is a legend among legends, a man whose mind was centuries ahead of his time. A painter, an engineer, a dreamer, and let's be honest, probably the coolest guy to ever pick up a paintbrush. His works are as mysterious as they are iconic. From flying machines to a certain enigmatic smile. Ladies and gentlemen, Leonardo da Vinci.
Tom, your words are as colorful as a well-mixed palette. Let us see if history remembers me rightly.
All right, Leonardo, I have to ask, what's the most ridiculous invention you ever dreamt up? And more importantly, did you actually build it?
A mechanical lion that walked and when it reached the king, opened its chest to reveal lilies. A marvel of artistry, though not exactly practical. But did it impress? Absolutely.
A flower-delivering robot lion? You were doing Renaissance sci-fi before it was even a thing. But tell me, which of your ideas did people laugh at? But deep down, you knew they'd work?
My flying machines, madness, they cried. But I had studied the birds, the wind, the mechanics of air. Had I been born in another century, Tom, I would have soared.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call vision. Speaking of which, what's one invention you regret not finishing?
My ideal city, clean, efficient, designed to prevent disease. A city that could have saved thousands, but alas, my patrons were more interested in weapons than wisdom.
A Renaissance smart city? Leonardo, Google needs to hire you. If you could build it today, what would it look like?
Wide streets, flowing water, underground waste systems, gardens for every home. A city where nature and science embrace, not oppose.
Sounds like a city I'd love to live in. And how about your anatomical studies? They were groundbreaking, far ahead of your time. But did you ever share your discoveries with the doctors of your era? Or did you keep them entirely to yourself out of fear or secrecy?
Some were shared, but many I hid. The church frowned upon such dissections, and I feared my work would be misunderstood. Knowledge is a dangerous thing in the wrong hands. A physician sees flesh. I sought the poetry within the sinews, the architecture of life itself.
That makes sense. Sometimes the world isn't ready for knowledge that challenges the norm. You were really a master of so many disciplines: art, science, engineering. But if you had to choose just one profession to dedicate your life to, what would it be?
An anatomist. Because in understanding the body, one understands the mechanics of life itself. It is art. It is engineering. It is nature's most intricate design. As an anatomist, I could still sketch, still invent, still uncover mysteries. Yet I must confess, the artist in me would never be silent.
That's quite a surprising answer. But it kind of makes sense. Your mind was always searching, always uncovering something new.
That's just who I am, Tom.
Okay, real talk. You never married and seemed uninterested in romance. Was that a choice or just life happening?
Love is a wonderful distraction, but my heart was already taken by curiosity, by creation.
So, you were basically married to science. Respect. Now, you were incredibly close to your companions like Salai. How important were those relationships?
Salai was my shadow, mischievous, troublesome, yet irreplaceable. My companions were my family when I had none.
And what kind of people do you vibe with? What traits really catch your eye?
Curiosity. A mind unafraid to ask, to wonder, to explore what others dismiss.
Leonardo, you definitely observed the world with unmatched curiosity. But tell me, did you believe in luck, or was everything simply cause and effect?
What men call luck is simply the consequence of unseen forces. A gust of wind may seem random, but it follows the laws of nature.
So, nothing is truly accidental, just patterns we have yet to understand. That makes me wonder, did your search for understanding ever lead you to question faith? Do you believe in God, or was your interest in science purely secular?
I see the divine in nature, in the mechanics of the world. Whether that is God, I cannot say, but creation is full of order, not chaos.
That's a beautifully balanced perspective. Speaking of vast ideas, what was the biggest dream of your life?
To understand everything, the workings of the body, the sky, the water, the forces unseen, a dream too vast for one lifetime.
Yeah, what a lifetime it was. You lived in Florence, Milan, and France, 3 incredible places. Which city felt most like home to you, and why?
Milan. There, my mind was free to experiment, to build, to dream without fear of censure.
So, freedom of thought over familiarity, very fitting for a Renaissance mind. Now, let's lighten things up. What's your guilty pleasure? A favorite food, hobby, or secret habit?
Exquisite foods, particularly well-aged cheeses and fine wines. And puzzles. Riddles of thought are as delightful as any feast.
Let's talk Mona Lisa. Be honest, why did you keep her instead of delivering the painting?
She was never finished. She changed with me. She was alive in my mind, on my canvas. How could I part with her?
And who is she, really? Lisa del Giocondo, a concept, or something else?
She is all of these. A woman of flesh, a mystery of thought, a reflection of my own soul.
Looks like that was one of your favorite artworks, and we can really feel it. How about your sketches? They are incredibly detailed, almost as if they were studies for something beyond art itself. Were you a perfectionist, or did you just really enjoy sketching?
Perfection does not exist, but I pursued it nonetheless. Observation was my joy, and my sketches were my means of understanding.
That makes sense. You weren't just drawing, you were studying the world. But speaking of art, what do you think about modern art?
If it seeks truth and expression, I applaud it. If it is chaos for the sake of chaos, then it is but noise.
That's fair. Now, imagine you had the chance to sit down and talk with anyone in history. Who would be your top 3 choices?
Homer, to hear poetry as it was meant to be spoken. Nikola Tesla, a man of lightning and vision. Did he too feel the burden of ideas unfulfilled? Albert Einstein, he unraveled the nature of time itself. I pondered motion, forces, and the mechanics of life, but he saw deeper into the bending of reality.
That would be one mind-blowing dinner conversation. Let's talk about something closer to the human heart. In today's world, there are celebrations like Pride that honor love and identity in all its forms. What would you think of such a movement? And would you join a parade in Florence or Milan?
To live as one truly is, that is a noble thing. If art and science know no boundaries, why should the heart?
Beautifully said. Modern society also allows people to choose their pronouns, like he, they, or something unique. How would you identify yourself? And do you think labels help or limit creativity?
I am simply Leonardo. Labels can define, but they can also constrain. A mind should not be caged.
Spoken like a true Renaissance thinker. If you could see today's world, what would surprise you the most?
That men fly as I dreamed, and that they carry knowledge in their pockets yet still do not seek wisdom.
That's deep. If you had a smartphone, what are the first apps you'd install?
Google Earth to see the world as the birds do. NASA's space apps. I would explore planets, gaze at galaxies, and marvel at how far human curiosity has taken us. Then, Procreate or Adobe Fresco, an infinite canvas, a palette without end.
Of course, you'd turn your phone into a research lab and an art studio at the same time. Now, imagine you were running a YouTube channel. What would it be about?
The art of seeing, teaching others to truly observe the world.
I'd subscribe in an instant. And if you had the chance to paint a portrait of someone famous from today, who would it be?
Elon Musk, the visionary of machines, David Attenborough, the voice of nature, and finally Lady Gaga, the living persona, a face that transforms, a soul that wears art like a second skin.
Those are some fascinating choices. Now, let's flip the question. If you could choose any epic to live in, which one would you pick?
Perhaps now. So many tools, so much possibility. But I would miss the silence of the old world.
And what do you think of the way people now perceive you?
They call me genius, yet I was simply curious. I wonder if they truly understand that my work was never finished.
Then, let's settle it. What's one thing you wanted the world to remember you for?
That I never stopped asking questions.
Before we move to the fast questions, tell us a secret that no one knows about you.
I once painted a perfect face only to ruin it because perfection, once reached, leaves no room for growth.
That's a powerful thought. All right, Leonardo, quickfire round. Ready?
Always
Tier 1.
wind,
Flying or swimming?
flying,
Brush or chisel?
brush,
Birds or machines?
birds,
Science or art?
both. But if I must choose art,
Future or past?
future,
Paint or sketch?
sketch,
Straight lines or curves?
curves,
Logic or imagination?
imagination,
Draw with your left hand or right hand?
left,
Invent a robot or a time machine?
time machine,
Sketchbooks or secret codes?
sketchbooks,
Mirror writing or invisible ink?
mirror writing,
Live in the future or in ancient Greece?
future,
Be famous or stay mysterious?
mysterious, and
A perfect answer from the ultimate Renaissance man. Leonardo, it's been an absolute honor. Final piece of advice for our listeners?
observe, not just with your eyes, but with your mind. The world is full of wonders, if only you learn how to see.
And that, my friends, is how you unlock the secrets of the universe. This has been The Beyond Show. If you loved this episode, hit subscribe. Until next time, stay curious, stay creative, and stay questioning.